The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 17th day of March, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpoo, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry, why are you smiling? I mean, it's not Friday.
Well, it's not Friday, but we're one day closer. And I ran an exercise this morning. So, needless to believe it or not, Jamal is some kind of inspiration, motivation to get me to get this exercise thing done. So, I'm feeling good. I got up this morning and did a little something. We can move on to the next part of the questions.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. No, I actually said to Nikki last night, I was like, I haven't seen any wildlife during my jogs lately, like especially the rabbits. It's usually rabbits out there, right? This is Florida. You're bound to see anything, right?
That is true.
Anyway, I spoke them up. I saw a rabbit running from me this morning. I think they think I'm racing them, like, the tortoise and the hare. And for some reason, I'm always the tortoise. The tortoise does win, though, folks. The tortoise does win. But yeah, I saw a rabbit this morning out there, and I was happy that wildlife doesn't seem to be, leaving, Florida. There's a lot of building going on. So you're like, where are they going? So
Georgia, so deer for us.
Yeah. See, I've never seen deer down here. They probably have them, but they're everywhere. But anyway, Good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today as we welcome the talented Sia Spence to the show. I'm looking forward to that. Sia, I'll tell the story before she comes on. So Sia, we go way back, and I'm not aging any of us. None of us are as old as Sherry, but that's another shit. It slipped. I've been doing good lately, but no. Sia, I've been Sia. Sunday school, man. We neighbors.
Sunday school.
Yeah, back in it. She's probably like, why is I tell people he knew me? But whatever, it happens like that. But no, I've brilliant singer, and to see, her journey has taken us into the film space. I'm looking forward to the conversation. The Daily Play is a name that place, so I'm not quite sure Jerry's gonna get this one wrong. You see what I did there, right?
Yeah.
You up. I don't think she's gonna get this one wrong. But before we get to the fun stuff, folks, Sherry always has to bring the bad stuff.
Why it's gotta be bad? We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have a conversation, as Sherry says. So I went to our dear friends at the Royal Gazette, and the title of this article by Gareth Finnegan is "Car License Fees to be Cut by Up to $200 from Next Month." Alrighty. So
they bring the bad news.
Okay. So basically, if you followed the budget, the premier announced, or finance minister, however you want to think of him, he announced that there will be a 10% cut, and MPs backed the Motor Car Amendment Act 2022. And so, obviously, the school kids, members of parliament, went back and forth during the debate, and, speaking about the savings and what it means. I'm just going to be quite frank. I don't want to go through the comments and the back and forth of your members of parliament that you elect. But what are your thoughts on 10% fee reduction for car license fees? Like, what are your thoughts on the 10% fee reduction of car fees in Bermuda? Let's put in context. You can save up to $200. But as we're often reminded, right? I'm going to give this example because I'm extreme. When slavery ended in the South, and in many places. It were not the enslaved to receive payments, but it was the people who were doing the enslaving. And you read history and they tell you they received maybe $2 million. And today that would be $2 billion. My point is what $200 represents today, as some people have said, is probably what $5 represented 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of back and forth, and some people are saying be lucky we got something and this and that and so on, and just be grateful. But there's intelligent people, not saying the people who haven't said this, but there are intelligent people who are saying $200 only gets me a bag of groceries. Is that really a saving? And then there are other intelligent people that says, well, $200 for a bag of groceries is better than nothing. But what are your thoughts? What do you think about the 10? Because for me, I'm thinking, well, if they're giving you a cut here, where are they making it up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And is that $200 with or without meat? But anyway, it's like, really $200? And I get it, Jamal, and I'm with you. Something is better than nothing. I have that point of view. But the other part of me is like, what happened to depreciating the tax as the car depreciates? You got a 1980 beat up some type of car, and you're paying $1,000 for what, and it's not even worth the value of it. How about we just look at the value of what the vehicle is worth, and then go ahead and make this decisions on the cuts. In addition to, my people, I love you, but if you can't afford the car from the very beginning, let's not buy it. How about that? Everyone's all excited, and when they, the first year they get it because they get the loan payment that pays out the, but by the first birthday of the car, it's like, oh, you know what? Because now you're paying $2,000 to license another something to insure it. So my people, but that's a whole separate show.
Well, I mean, no, I think that's a valid point, Sherry. Teo and I had this conversation many years ago, and people didn't get it. Mind you, the argument that was used against us back then was Bermuda's public transportation system, right? What we were basically trying to tell someone, they had a big SUV and single mom had, and I've told this story before, but she was saying that she needs her car. And we said, well, what do you need it for? Well, to take my children to school. There were buses. Well, to do laundry. There's ways of getting that done without owning a car, and especially that size car, whatever. So I take your point that sometimes there's things we can do to, find more money, right? There are things that we can do. And one of those things is not spending what we don't have. I completely agree with that. Shayna Smith says something that I mentioned in the opening. Cut here, hit an increase somewhere else. And there were people on Twitter when this was announced saying that, oh, so the cost of, what was it, daycare or something going up elsewhere, or something to that effect. Folks, all I'm saying is a government that needs money, if they cut somewhere, you have to ask, well, where's it being made up?
And it will be made up.
They have to make it up. Like, where is it gonna? Where is it? Sam Cat Play says, morning, it's not enough, but I'll take 10%. I'll still wait to see where we actually are taking the licks from, because it's coming. I'm just saying. And I think those are the questions we need to be asking. Those are the questions that, I think if we have the finance minister, the Honorable Premier David Burt, in front of us, we wouldn't to ask him, okay, you're cutting the cost for licensing fees here, which that only impacts people who have cars, right?
Right.
Where is it that money now being drawn from the people? Like, where are you taking that? Where are you making up that loss that the government's going to take? So I don't even think it's just about the population, the people, having an additional $200. I also think it's, well, I may have an additional $200 by not paying with a 10% discount here, but then I'm paying $225 now over here when it was previously $25. Are we asking these questions?
and we're not asking these questions, and it will be interesting to find out, because it's again that shiny dangly thing that's put in front of you and like, oh yes, $200, but on the back end it's like, okay, your land tax just went up, oh you're talking about fuel tax, oh we're talking about sugar tax, oh importation tax, all of it. So what? We're not going to have $200 deductible when we decide to come in. You see what I'm saying? Saying that would be, oh, we're going to reduce that to $100.
Folks,
It's all of those things.
what are your thoughts on the 10% fee reduction for car license fees? Rick Olson states, when you're in debt, you're in debt. Save today, pay tomorrow. Let me repeat. Save today, pay tomorrow. Mishka Fabler says, I think it was the after school program vouchers that went up. Yes, that sounds like, yeah, I said daycare or something. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So are they making it up there? I don't have the exact numbers, but thank you for that clarity.
Parents need to pay more for the kids, and it's a government. Listen.
Yeah. Annabelle Fontaine says, what about the fact that most people can't afford a car to start with? If you can afford a car, you're doing better than many. So why give that group up to $200? Another perspective. This is another perspective. And I think that goes to Sherry's point as well. Well, if you can afford a car, that's a luxury in itself, she's saying. Michelle White says, I missed the reading of the budget yesterday. BUT. So, you put BUT, I'm thinking Bermuda Union of Teachers after what I've been reading the last 2 days. You can't do that to me, Michelle. I missed the reading of the budget yesterday, but the $200 will not cover the car repairs needed because of the bad roads. No doubt there's a hidden increase somewhere. Folks.
Listen.
I don't know. I don't look. I was on Bermuda's roads for about a month, December, January, and it was bad. Like, I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. And so I didn't want to stir up trouble. I mean, that's normal, but I was trying not to. But I was like, man, the government should be paying some insurance fees if the roads are this bad. Like, they're contributing to my problems if I'm got a vehicle. But that's another show. But I take your point, though. I take your point that, to repair the car, that $200 ain't even going to cover anything.
Nothing, Jamal.
Yeah. No, I got that. Sam Cat Place says that's wrong information. The vouchers did not go up. So she's saying they didn't go up. And I know that was talk on Twitter. They were going up, and Mishko was just explaining that it was after school program vouchers that went up. But again, I think that the overall point is, where can we look? Where can we look to find the hidden increase in fees? At the end of the day, I guess, again, the question is, what $200 does for you today is much less than what it could do for you maybe 5-10 years ago. And so, the question, are we satisfied with that? I mean, again, I completely understand people who are saying, you know what, something's better than nothing.
And I understand that I come from this United States mindset in regards to, depreciating the cost as the car depreciates. I don't know if that makes any sense, but to me it does. Like, give people a price cut who have a car in 1990 and it's now 15 years old, because most times Bermudians hold on to the car. Can we have some of those incentives?
Yeah, they got them in insurance. I don't know. I mean, fees would make sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. I think, depreciation with insurance companies I think it would be only right if it's done, because I think it's done on the size of car, like the class in Bermuda. What is it? Class A to H or E, whatever. But you know what I mean? It's done the size. Car license fees are based on the size of the car.
Yeah, size of the car, or whichever is bigger, the size or the engine.
Yeah, the engine.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I had a Volkswagen Polo. I think I paid $700 for the whole life of the car, but the car was 20 years old at the time that you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense.
You got a 20-year-old car?
Yeah, it was a good one too. I missed my Polo.
I didn't know cars lasted that long, Sherry. You're a good person, because I've never had the pleasure of owning a car in Bermuda, right? And I've never wanted to own a car in Bermuda. No, well, see, I worked summer jobs at insurance companies,
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I could afford another.
No, I got a real good deal. I had a very much just came back from these States thought, and I have to tell you, but I got a real good deal. It was 5 years old when I purchased it, and then it
when
was
you know
like 15
somebody, you know
years.
somebody. Traveling Trotty says, let's talk about the car size as the increases from class to class does not make sense. Well, what doesn't make sense about the car size, class sizes, Trotty? Help us understand. Michelle White said they opened Harrington's on roads to flats and the eastbound lane is atrocious, a roller coaster ride at best. Keep the $200 and fix the road. So Michelle's basically saying, I would rather that the government use the $200 savings for individuals to go and fix the roads. Whether that would help cost in terms of your insurance, that's up in the air. Mishka Fabulous says the roads are comparable to many I drove on in northeastern U.S., especially springtime infrastructure projects are always unpopular, but very necessary. Well, I'll tell you, glad you said northeastern U.S. I can relate. I spent much of my time living in the Northeast. If you see snowplows, how they mess up the roads, oh, they mess them right up. But in Florida, honestly, it's probably the best paved roads I've ever driven on in Florida. I don't know what it's like in Atlanta, Sherry, but I don't have those problems here. But in the Northeast, for sure.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Amanda Blakeney says, man, everyone could have benefited from a pink tax. Mia Motley implemented in Barbados. Speak to us. You have to let us know what the pink tax is you're referring to, Amanda Blakeney. What is the pink tax? Let us know. Pink tax, from what I know, might be a bit different from what you're thinking. So just want to be some clarity there. Sam Cat Place says depreciation, yes, for insurance, but there's rates keep going up, so real discount is there. So no real discount. So what she means by that is, you're basically paying less in terms of the depreciation, but you're paying more, which means if you were paying $500 last year for your car, but the cost for that same thing is $600 now, and the cost beneath that last year was $450, but now it's $550. You're still paying more, even though you're still getting a bigger discount. It's you know what I'm saying? It's crazy how the system works. But what are your thoughts, folks? What are your thoughts? Are you happy with the 10% fee reduction in car license fees? Like, what? Yes or no? Just a yes or no. Are you happy with the reduction? The 10% reduction, does it help you? Do you think that it's fair? Do you think that there's going to be other hidden costs elsewhere? Personally, for me, I've never owned a car in Bermuda. I, have worked jobs in insurance, and that scared me enough to realize that I don't want a mortgage payment on a car. That's what it feels like in Bermuda for me. Amanda Blake says personal products, tampons, deodorant, hygiene product. That's the pink tax. Okay, thank you so much for the explanation, Amanda Blake. I was completely different, thinking something differently. The Chico Trot says no. She doesn't agree that the 10% fee reduction for cars is enough. Doesn't agree.
I think it only is beneficial if you're in an A class, and I think you pay $400 if you're in an A class. So it's like, because if you're in an H or something, you're in the thousands.
Yeah. Michelle White says no. Annabelle Fontaine says increase the tax on larger cars to encourage us to buy smaller cars, or maybe encourage us to buy electric cars. I don't know. Karen Simmons says no. So interesting. I mean, I think the consensus people are saying they don't see the real overall benefit. I think this is an opportunity. It would probably a missed opportunity for us to focus more. And I know Bermuda probably doesn't have the charging stations and so on, but it could have been an opportunity to really focus on getting people into electric vehicles. I don't know. Renee Simmons, Sherry.
I think if they depreciated the license as the car aged, that would be better. What pay the same fee for a 10-year-old car as a new car?
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I think that was Shara's opening point. Like, I mean, why not have it depreciate? Why pay the same fee or more as it goes up for a car that you've had for 5, 10, 15 years? So I get the point. Let's bring Leanna in and see what she thinks. And then we've got Sia Spence coming up, folks. Sia, the talented, I should say, Sia Spence. I wonder if she's going to give us a note or two. I'm going to set it up. Might give us a note or two, I know she charges for those things. I don't know, folks. Let's bring on Leanna. Lee, good morning, sister. How are you? What's happening?
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It was a struggle this morning. I don't know if Father Winter out there came through with a vengeance again. This hot and cold business we got going on in Bermuda is throwing me completely off.
Oh, I mean, Bermuda's just what they call it, the weather. It's
Bipolar.
bipolar.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
But no, good morning, Bermuda. Weighing in on the conversation, I'm with you, Jamal. I feel like, yeah, to some it is a win, 10%, but we know in Bermuda that we don't really catch a break anywhere, right? So somewhere we're gonna feel that elsewhere, whether
Maybe
it's in groceries or it's in
somewhere.
gas prices, as we know what's going on in the world. That 10% might feel like a win, but in my heart, I don't feel as if it's gonna do much to my budgeting skills.
Yeah, no. And I want to go back because Annabelle Fountain, I think we misunderstood her comment. She said pink tax penalizes women, not good. Oh, I thought it was the opposite, as in what that Amanda was saying. Pink tax is, gives those discounts. Yeah, I didn't know it was. I don't know. That's something I'll have to read up on. But interesting. Lee, but you have a car, right, Leanna?
I do, and I was one of those that went to the bank and got a loan, and I'm with our last viewer who said I don't want to pay the same amount as this car depreciates, but I'm in that boat, and because it's the only way. I didn't have 25 grand just laying around, and I needed transportation, so you have to weigh out your options and budget accordingly. But as we've seen over the years, prices continue to rise. Rent is high, food is high, gas is high, fees are high, school is high. So,
but you know what I
guess.
wonder? You know what I wonder hearing you? Sherry sent me this video of like people using horses instead of cars because of gas, right? I wonder. No, you're joking because comments like this, and this is what Teo and I were talking about years ago. Large families cannot survive in Bermuda with smaller cars.
No.
But folks, I know times change, we evolve, and things happen. The fact that we've made ourselves believe we need cars is a problem in itself.
Right.
That's what I'm just trying to get us to really think about a comment like this. Like the fact that we've been made to believe we need cars, and that's what I mean. Take away public transportation. The question I have, and I'm being dead serious, what's the cost of feeding a horse and maintaining a horse versus a car?
So Mal, you're gonna be that person riding down the street on a horse.
I'm scared of horses. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying some people might be some people it might let's go to the news break. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Electric bikes.
Thanks, Jamal and Sharon. We're gonna have to see Jamal's horse. Let me get the chance. Good morning to all of those who are tuned in with us today. I hope everyone is having a great start to this cloudy day. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Well, in today's top stories, police seized more than $38,000 in cash, along with illegal drugs in a raid on Monday at a Pembroke residence. Now, a man was arrested as officers from the Tactical Operations Division, supported by the Community Policing Division, executed a warrant under the Misuse of Drugs Act. According to a police spokesperson, the substantial quantity of drugs came with an estimated street value of $45,000. Chief Inspector Robert Caldwell called the raid another example of the BPS committed to seizing illicit drugs and the associated proceeds of crime at every turn. He said the organization will continue to work to bring to justice any person engaged in the sale of illicit drugs. And he reminded the public that anyone with information could assist in combating crime, could call 211 or 295-0011 or speak with any officer with whom they are familiar. In other news, a man appeared in court yesterday morning and admitted to stabbing his father to death. 28-year-old Tyshawn Brown, appeared in front of the Supreme Court and pleaded guilty to killing Amon Brown, a former football team manager. 52-year-old Mr. Brown suffered about 25 stab wounds on July 8, 2020, during an incident on St. Mary's Road in the Cedar Hill area of Warwick. Police who were alerted by neighbors found him lying bleeding in the road, and he was taken to hospital by ambulance, but Mr. Brown was later pronounced dead by doctors. Now, puny Judge Sabur Williams remanded Tyshawn Brown, who is said to be from Warwick, in custody and will announce his sentencing at a later date. And Government House yesterday announced Darren Simons has been appointed as the island's new commissioner of police. Now, Mr. Simons was the deputy commissioner for the Bermuda Police Service and acted in the job since the resignation of Stephen Corbishley last October. The appointment was made following an open recruit process in line with international best practice for selecting chief officers. Now, 8 candidates, of whom 2 were Bermudian, were shortlisted for an interview. Governor Rainer Legley said she is confident Mr. Simons will serve Bermuda well in his role as Commissioner of Police, bringing to the job a breadth of skills and experience and a deep-seated passion for service to the people of Bermuda. Now, accepting the position, Mr. Simons said he is grateful and thankful for the opportunity to serve and stated that raising trust and confidence in the police, both within the community as well as the organization, are critically important to him. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 72 and a low near 67 degrees. It will be a cloudy start to the morning and become patchy overnight, with rain soon clearing away today. Now, despite high pressure in the area, a weak warm front threatens further patchy rain earlier this morning. An associated cold front then brings the risk of a few showers later tomorrow. Other than that, conditions promise to remain largely dry and settled through the weekend with mild March temperatures. That's all for our Daily Hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All right, Sherry, what you got for days of the year?
Today is National Close the Gap Day, and what it is to advocate for the health equity of Australia's Indigenous people and educating the public about the health issues and barriers to well-being, for their well-being, and that they're faced by. So, I know you was thinking St. Patrick's Day, and it is, but
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought this was a little bit better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, interestingly enough, you can see how un-Irish we are, because ain't nobody thought of it. Well, none of us are wearing green. Even though Leanna's as short as a leprechaun. I mean, I'm not.
But we're the same height.
Listen, what you're not gonna do today is come for another short person.
But we're the same height, sir. Jamal. We did this. Remember when we stood shoulder to shoulder? Like, we looked each other right in the eye.
So he's just a grumpy short uncle.
Leprechaun.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
We'll send you, what is it? The 4-leaf clover many times today, Jamal.
I'm got that picture that shows she was standing on something. I'll leave it. It was. This is my ginger, turmeric, and lemon I made. Anika sings.
No, that's his growth juice.
Yeah.
One for me. One for me.
That was funny. Oh my goodness.
Bye, Mal. Have a great day.
Yes, go ahead. Fade out right now. Bye, Lee.
Bye.
See you later, Leanna. Wow, I mean, my goodness. Leanna Lambert, folks. Wow. Lee just giving it to me. She's got to stop hanging around that Sherry person. We're coming right back. We're going to get some good energy in here with Sia Spence, folks. You don't want to miss this. Good conversation. What is happening in this place?
Girl, growth.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. Peoples, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
This month, John Barrett & Son bring us a premium thirst quencher from North Carolina, the Blue Ultra Purified Water. Many other bottled waters use reverse osmosis to reach an acceptable level of purity. Le Bleu uses a 5-step purification process, which includes fractional vapor compression, distillation, and ozonation, assuring purity and a unique, appealing flavor. Consumer testimony repeatedly praises the taste of Le Bleu compared to the other brands, and this, along with superior purity, makes Le Bleu a must-try. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Yeah. Welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. I feel myself growing. I do.
That's what the juice would do.
Yeah, to be in this space, you got to be quick on your feet. And man, you can't help but give props to Leanna for that one. But folks, you know me. I'm got it back. I'm
got you, Lee. And
she was standing on a stool when she was next to me in those pictures. All right.
You were sitting down.
Wow. You know, Sia's waiting for us. We got
come with Sia.
More important conversation to have. Let's welcome. Let's get the round of applause ready because we ain't done a round of applause lately. Hopefully, others ain't watching this. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we welcome the talented Sia Spence. Good morning, Sia. How are you?
Good morning, Jamal. Good morning, Sherry.
Hi, Sia.
Hi. I am in tears right now at that growth juice. I couldn't stop laughing. It's a good thing I wasn't on camera.
But Sia, you've seen me. I've grown since you and
Jamal, I haven't seen you.
Oh. Yeah. No, but you remember me when I was really
short. Listen, you're gonna talk for me too. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Anyway, let's talk about Sia. Enough about my height. I'm taller than Charlemagne the God. That's all you need to know. But look, I've known you as a singer mostly all of your life. For those who may be unfamiliar, who is Sia Spence? How did your journey begin?
Well, my journey began Sunday school, Jamal. It's funny that you said that. In Sunday school, I started singing and then just started singing in brownies and girl guides. And then it was, I would go to family functions, sing Sia. It still happens now today. But that journey with singing started, back when I was like 7 or 8. And I remember I used to sing in my living room, and we remember the tape recorders, like the rectangular ones, and used to press record. Well, I used to act like I was a preacher. I used to sing all the hymns and used to act like a Sunday school teacher. And I just really fell in love with teaching, speaking, and singing. Wow. And then, it just took off when I was 10. I remember I sang for World Children's Day. My first time singing on stage, singing solo. I was so nervous. But since that day, everybody just started calling me for weddings and funerals. And I could say since I was 10, I had been singing every weekend at least.
Wow.
Since I was 10. And just became, really popular in that area in Bermuda. And I came to love it. Just being able to comfort people, make people smile, all of that good stuff. And so that's basically how it started.
I love it. But so a few years ago, I don't remember the exact year. I remember seeing a post that I loved on social media. Mm-hmm. It was a post of you. You were leaving Bermuda. You were having a going away concert, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, in 2014. Yeah.
Right, and you were going to study, and I just remember when I never kind of knew what I wanted to do. I just knew it involved talking crap every day. And whether that's through sales or doing this, I just knew it would come to fruition. But so many Bermudians, even when I was telling people what I wanted to do or what I didn't want to do, I was being pushed towards like international business or accounting or like things that they said the country needed, not what made me happy. My former colleague, I remember Teo. If you know Teo, he was one of the smartest children. I mean, the dude graduated college before he was while he was in his teens, right? And people thought he should be a lawyer and a scientist and this and that. You're one of those unique people who you went to study what it was you were interested in. How did you push beyond the pressures of the norms in Bermuda and just go and do what you were interested in?
Well, Jamal, that's a great question. It was hard. It was hard to make the decision. I was being mentored, and my mentor one day basically he said, "Stop singing." He says, "Stop singing everywhere." When I say I was singing everywhere, I was singing everywhere. And to my fellow Bermudians, it seemed like, Sia's so good. I want her to sing here and I want her to sing there. But for me, I just felt like I was in a box. I felt suffocated. And he said, "It's like they're pimping your gift. Just take a break." And I took a break for an entire year. And it was the hardest thing ever to say no. But during that year, I processed and I was like, it's something out there bigger for me. I didn't have a degree. I was working at HSBC Bank. And I loved my job because I love to help people. But I was like, it's got to be something else out there for me. And I told him I'm ready to go to school. And he said, well, start the process. So I started the process, didn't know how I was going to do it. I said, okay, use your gift. And I ended up having this concert. And I remember losing my voice the night before the concert. I was on the floor crying, praying and saying, Lord, why? Like all these people are coming to see me tomorrow. And when that concert came and the voice that came out of me, it was amazing. And it just confirmed that, Sia, this is the path that you're supposed to go on. So I took my kids, I jumped my 2 children, Amal and Zay. I took them and I left and I went to Atlanta. And I actually went to study audio because, being a singer, I said, let me learn how to produce and mix music. And when I got there, I switched. The next term, I switched to film. I fell in love with it. I was doing so well. My professors were like, I think you need to take up film. So I ended up majoring in film.
Nice. This is a story, folks. This is a story. Humble beginnings. If you have any questions or comments for Sia, shoot them through. You know how we do. We'll try to share as many as possible and get your questions answered. Sherry, over to you.
Yeah, Sia, I've been somewhat part of your process and seeing some of the ups and downs, and going from singing to film has been quite a transition. Last week we had International Women's Day and their theme was to break the biases. The film industry is a male dominated industry. What biases have you come across and how have you dealt with them being new in this industry?
I haven't come across too many biases, but there was an instance, not in film, but with singing, because when I first came, I still was singing and I had a manager, and it was just like being a female. My voice wasn't heard much. It was like I just had to look like this, or even better. It was a pretty face and a pretty voice, and that was it. And I'm a very strong personality where, I don't let people run over me. You know what I mean? So I used to speak up, and that caused conflict in those areas. But being in the film industry, I'm actually, working alongside a fantastic person, Mr. Terrell Whitley. I know he is listening, and he is a great friend, a great mentor, great client, great boss, all of that. And he has made me feel like an equal, like I have a voice. And I've learned so much. So I haven't necessarily gone through a lot of biases, but I do see where there is an imbalance with women in the film industry, versus males.
Okay. And in addition to that, I know people look at your social media and they're like, what is Sia doing? The importance of networking. If I didn't think of anybody, I think you're like the poster child for networking. Speak to the audience about the importance of networking and making connections within this industry, especially not being from Atlanta yourself. Speak to us about that.
Okay, yes, it's very, very important. I mean, my personality drives me to network anyway. But if you're a person that's not really a people person, get nervous when you speak to people, just first make that step of finding out where these events are happening. Do your research and make sure that you're there. Make sure that you're present first. Everything else will follow. Because people are all there in these networking events, whether it's a film industry event where other aspiring actors or aspiring filmmakers are. You just need to be able to be present, be approachable, be vulnerable, and always open to learn. I think showing who you really are is key. A lot of people feel like they have to put on, because they're in front of this person and in front of that person. I've met some great people in this industry through networking and being Sia, smiling and hey, how are you? And what is it that you do? And, and just being confident in what I do. When someone asks you, hey, what is it that you do? Know who you are, know what you do. Because when that question comes and you don't seem confident or you don't know how to answer that question, then the experience isn't great. I've had great experiences because I know who I am in this industry and as a person.
It's the smiling thing I just can't perfect, but gotcha.
So that you can feel approachable.
Yeah. I'm learning.
It's working on it.
Yes, when you have a presence in the room, it draws people to you. Sometimes I don't even have to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, they still come over to me for some reason. Go ahead, sorry.
Now that you're in the film industry, I see that you've taken that by storm and you've taken it in its entirety, which has moved you to now have your own film company. What services do you offer to others through your company, and how have those services helped others?
Okay, I love this question. So, I have a company where I consult. I consult screenwriters as well as producers. And basically, the services that I offer is I will consult you on your screenplay to help you to clarify ideas and put systems into place so that you can, create the screenplay that you want and that a producer will buy. Right. I find that a lot of times screenwriters, especially beginner screenwriters, they have these great ideas and great stories, but they don't know how to structure. They don't know how to format. They don't know how to speak dialogue properly. So when they pass these screenplays on, it's not as intriguing to the reader, right? Especially to a producer. So I help these screenwriters get it right. With regards to producers, which is what I do with Terrell Whitley, is I'm his creative executive. So I assist with the development side of a screenplay and of the project, period. So what comes into me is the screenplay, and I vet it basically. I read it, I do a story report on it, and I say, hey, Terrell, this is a pass. Let's consider it. It needs some work. Or, hey, I highly, highly recommend this script. And then after that, we, attach actors and directors and writers to the project. So that's what I do as far as my services to the actual producer. On the other side of things, I love to teach. And so I do offer courses in screenwriting to adults and to children. I've had a few students from Bermuda, which I'm very, very proud of. And I also offer kids beginner acting classes. So I do a whole lot in the area of film. But on the other hand, the thing that takes up a lot of time is screenwriting. So I do try and take some time to write my own scripts. I have written a screenplay, a full feature, which is based on a true story of one of our fellow Bermudians' wives. And it's being optioned right now by a producer. So, yeah.
That's
Right?
awesome. It's a lot, but it's awesome. And with that being said, how can others get into the film industry that come from a small island like yourself?
Well, I think first networking, right? Connecting yourself
Yes.
to people who are in the industry. It's all about relationships. It is all about relationships. I have built everything I have off of relationships, just being honest and true and knowing what you want to do and being able to communicate that, right? So if it's somebody that's in a small island like Bermuda that wants to come into this industry, I would say connect to me, to somebody like myself. You have others who I'm working with in Bermuda, which is Dana Selassie. You have Rashawn Robinson, Shiona Tarini. You have all these people that are in the industry that you can connect yourself to. Don't try and do everything on your own because you're going to need that mentorship. I'm getting mentorship, you know. So I think that's key is connecting with someone that is already in the industry so that you can be taught how to take that journey and navigate.
Well, I have to say because you've helped me network in some spaces, so
Yeah.
she's definitely honest in what it is that she's saying. What advice would you give to other Bermudians interested in breaking into the film industry? Would you recommend going the same way that you did, or would you mentor somebody else to do it a little differently? Because I know the story.
Well, Sherry, everybody's journey is different. Trust me.
Yes.
The thing that I would say is doing the same is if you want something in life, go for it. You can have the life that you absolutely want. So when you're going for it, there are going to be obstacles. You may self-sabotage. It might be all sorts of things, right? But you need to know how to navigate around those things and be solution-based. So when you're going for what it is that you want to do and the journey that you're on, whether it's mine or it's different, just always remember why you're doing it. And I would say with regards to the entertainment and film industry, like I said earlier, connect with people that are already in it. I didn't have that. I literally just left, didn't know anybody, just did my thing. And I'm a driven person. I don't give up. And the times that I wanted to give up, I always thought about, I'm going to be very honest. I thought about people back home. Everybody's watching you, Sia. Everybody's watching you, right? So always remember your why. I was doing it for my country. I want to be a first in my country, to be an award-winning director, producer, screenwriter, right? That's my goal. And so you just have to remember what your goals are and go for them. But get that mentorship on the way. Yes, I am willing to mentor some individuals if they're serious. But other than that, just, look up schools that, that carry the courses that you need. I would also say this. In the film industry, a lot of people didn't go to school for film. I'm not trying to encourage people not to go to school, but a lot of people did not go to school for film. YouTube University, lots of practice, lots of practice, studying, mentorship, continue to make films, continue to write, right? You don't have to spend $72,000 on school if it's something that you really can't afford and it's going to crush your dreams because you can't afford it. Learn, in other ways. I offer courses. Come talk to somebody like me.
I mean, you said all the right things. I mean, you're definitely better than most politicians in that respect, because I mean, you're speaking it, you're delivering it, and I want to touch on this. And if you have any questions or comments for Sia, I will do my best to get through them. But Young Queens Girls Clubs, talk to us about that. What is that? What yeah. Oh boy, this sounds
that
good.
is my heart. Like my hair just stood up, you guys. So that is my heart. Like, I'm passionate about a lot, but I am so passionate about young people and specifically young women. I was once a young girl, very lost, and only found myself when I was 40, believe it or not, right? I literally found myself, loved myself, knew my worth. And I went back home in 2019 and I got a job at Delwood Middle School as a drama teacher. And I saw the young people there, especially the girls. They had, these crazy bad attitudes and they didn't even know why. And instead of me coming down hard on them, I just looked at them and, I spoke to them in love, and I was just like, asking them questions like, do you believe you're beautiful? And would tell them that they're beautiful. And it was certain things, I can't remember exactly what I was saying because it just flowed, but it broke them down. And these were girls that were hard up in this school. And so I went to the principal and I said, I want to start a girls club. And she was like, look, if you could get through to that one and you could get through to that one, then go for it. And I spoke to my daughter, Amal, and I told her, I said, listen, I want to do a girls club. You want to start it with me? Because my daughter is just amazing, not just because she's my daughter, but she's an amazing young lady. And, the technique that I used to bring her and her brother up, I believe has worked. And that means being vulnerable with them, sharing with them things that adults would normally keep as secrets. These kids are exposed to so much. And so I said, Mal, it worked what I did with you and your brother. So let's try it on these other young girls. And she said yes. And so we founded Young Girls Queens Club. And we started it in 2020, March of 2020, just when COVID happened, the week before COVID happened, in person. And then I was like, nope, we're not going to let that stop us. And we've been online on Zoom ever since. And I mentor 15 to 20 girls right now.
Wonderful to hear it. Wonderful to hear that. And, I want to go back. You said something. And when we first began this show, the father of our guest tomorrow, Rusty G, Mr. Billy Griffith, he said something. Billy is a tourism legend. He was the CEO of Barbados and director of tourism Bermuda. But he emphasized, and I think it ties into you, he emphasized the need to build relationships. He spoke about relationships. Like, everyone thinks tourism and they think fish sandwich and great pictures and this and that. And he said relationships. And I just feel like so many conversations we have, regardless of the topic or guest, it all comes down to relationships. And what you said, Sia, you went into a space where you had no relationships. You had to build your relationships. And I just hope that people understand that it's not just going to happen because maybe you're talented. It's not, Connor Smith was on here late last year. He said, look, there's hundreds, if not thousands of other talented people out there. What are you doing to separate yourself? And the importance of networking and relationships. From what I'm hearing is you busted your butt. Like, you literally had to make people recognize you, go in those rooms, make yourself approachable. Like, it's a technique. And so I appreciate your journey. I really do appreciate the journey. And I hope that you remember us people when that they sign on those deals. Because what I like is you said something that I tried to do as well. You said that people in Bermuda are looking like, and they want to see you succeed, almost like, no, Sia's out there. She's gotta be. I'm gonna be, and that's how you gotta look at it. Like, we want to be that person who gives Bermudians hope. I live by this for Bermudians. We have to grow beyond our environment.
In addition to, and we have to help each other. And I said to Sia before, she has put me in some rooms. She'll call and she's like, Sherry, I need you. I'm like, okay, well, and then I'm like, oh, I met this person. I met that person. And so I appreciate that of her to even include.
Sherry. So let me tell you, one thing about me, I'm all about my Bermudians. I don't care where I am in the world. If I know a Bermudian is there, I'm calling them. And working at Liquid Soul when I was before I came back to Bermuda, I called Sherry. We did this big event for AMC for The Walking Dead, right? And it was like a premiere of their season pilot premiere. And I organized this thing and I was like, look, I got some people that can help us. And I didn't call my American friends. I'm sorry. I love my American friends. I love you all. But I called Sherry and Jason. And they came through. We had a good time. We had our walkers walking around. Remember, Sherry? It was amazing. Yeah. And we invited Lana Young. Lana came, the actress. It was just so amazing. And so, Sherry's correct. Like, networking and being able to be in those spaces, you got to meet so many people. Like, take advantage of that. Don't stand around and be starstruck. And like, They're normal people. Everybody,
Basically,
right?
use your social media for more than selfies, folks. Remember
Listen.
that. Remember that. But no, I was just checking my phone because I ain't got no call. But anyway, that's another show. Sia, before you go, literally, like how can people get in touch with you? Like you said a lot. You said a lot this morning that can help people, a lot that can inspire people. How can people reach you if they want to learn more, or they know someone who may benefit from what you do?
Okay. Well, I have my personal page, which is The Real Sia Spence on Instagram. And then also I have my business, which is Film Mail Consultants. And that is another Instagram handle, which is Film Mail, FILMALE. Okay, consultants. And then also you can follow me on my website as well, which is filmmailconsultants.com. And then, of course, Facebook.
All righty.
Yes. And please do not hesitate. You can DM me. I answer. Unfortunately, I'm always looking at my phone. But fortunately for you, I will see it. So you can DM me in all these handles.
She's a business lady. What can she say, folks? Business women, they have the phones right. Sia, thank you so much. Honestly, I appreciate the conversation, and I feel like we have so much more to discuss. So you'll probably be getting a request to come back on and share some of the things and updates, because I'm sure that there will be some updates coming very soon.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about the struggles. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Absolutely.
And I don't mind telling.
We definitely can go there. Yeah, overcoming the struggles.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sia Spence, folks. Thank you.
Bye, lovely.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
All righty, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like if you appreciated that conversation with Sia. Wonderful story, honestly, wonderful story. What I took away when she was said that her mentor told her to stop singing or taking every job. What that is hey, yo, to create value, sometimes go easy, be more specific about the jobs that you're doing.
And we're going to make you uncomfortable in the space that you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
And that's where the change happens.
Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, come back, wrap it up. We've got a daily play. I'm sure anyone who loves film and the movie industry will get this answer correct today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our website. Go on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have the talented Rusty Jeek following Sia. He's coming up tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. The world is opening back up, and so are events that he'll be playing at. Stick with us. We'll be back after this.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security. There's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All righty. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindo's for ensuring that we're able to do this for you and with you on a daily basis. Thanks again to Sia Spence. Honestly, incredible person, strong person. She, you know what? She shared that she didn't really start something until 40. Sia doesn't look a day over 25, boy. Like, honestly, you talk about your jeans in skin, right? I'm like, I gotta ask her what she's doing. Like, what's the situation? Because the growth juice ain't doing it for me. That's doing something different, giving me some height, not
the growth juice.
Yeah. But awesome conversation with Sia. But it's time for the daily play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry, are you ready?
I'm trying to Google whatever you're about to ask me.
Oh, well, why are you trying to Google? So I'm going to Google with you. Let's Google. Okay. No.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Let's Google together. So, Sherry, are you ready?
Yes.
You're going to get, folks, help Sherry with the answer. Help Sherry with the answer. What city and state was Tyler Perry born in? Oops, wrong.
Atlanta, Georgia. What city and state was he born in? South Carolina somewhere? I don't know, Jamal. Atlanta? Oh, was it New York? He slept in a car.
No one's got it. Atlanta, Georgia is not the answer, folks.
Well, why would I know this so easily?
It's not the answer. New York is not the answer. No one knows where Tyler Perry was born. Someone got it. No, not Memphis. It's New Orleans, Louisiana. That's part of his story.
I missed that part. I knew he slept in a car though.
Yeah, that was part of his story. New Orleans, Louisiana. Tyler Perry. I just thought it was fitting, Sia, space.
No, you're right with that. But has that been really highlighted a whole lot?
Yeah, it was part of his story.
Okay. I missed that part. But anyway.
Atlanta's where he made a name for himself. Anyway, yeah. Let's wrap up today. Final thoughts on today's show.
As we stated, the taxes on the car, $200 given back. Yes, it's great. It's something. However, where are we going to find it? Elsewhere, it's going to be somewhere else. And there's other ways that we can deal with the whole car situation as far as license insurance. It's other ways. As far as Sia, I love Sia. That's my girl. And to hear how she has networked and how she has changed her industry and her career into something that it is what it is now is awesome to see. So make sure you check her out.
Yeah, for sure. I going back to the car thing, folks, got a horse. Just get a horse. No, serious. All jokes aside, honestly, we're all different. Some people have made themselves believe that a car makes their life better. I'm not here to tell you differently, honestly, if you believe that, but there's consequences to it, and there shouldn't be consequences to it. And if your car is 20 years old, you shouldn't be paying for licensing, but that's another show. My simple solution is do budget-wise, find out what works for you in the short and long term and move in that space. The government, they need to make money. They will find somewhere to make it. As far as Sia, I couldn't be more prouder to know her. I am really excited for what's to come from Sia. And any young Bermudian that's interested in getting in that space, just follow her journey, connect with her. See how maybe you can collaborate, or if there's an opportunity for you to learn even more from her. Chances are she'll be on her phone, she said. You got some daily inspiration for us, Sherry?
I do. We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Very fitting. By Dr. Henry Link.
That's a good one there. All right. Thank you so much for that, Sherry. Folks, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our website. We're going to be doing a giveaway from last week's trivia tomorrow. Sherry, we'll speak about coffee or tea yesterday. Interesting results. Seems like our audience are definitely Brits. Yeah, they may not drink green beer today, but they are definitely Brits. They like tea over coffee. But thanks again to our partners, Medical Hours, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I am the grumpy leprechaun, Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a great and safe day. I don't know. All this name calling is just not cool. It's not fun.